Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? So the topic of the chapter water, it is rivers. Do you know what is river and what's its function? A river's work depends on the energy of the river. The volume of a river increases after rain or when snow melts. A river may flow quickly, that its velocity is great if the land slopes steeply. It may also flow quickly if it has a lots of water, as in a flood. We will learn more about the effects of a reduced amount of water reaching the mouth of the river as well. Now here is the common features of a river. You can see source, tributary, mouth, estuary, confluence. Okay, these are the major common features we will find in the river. So what is source? The place where a river begins. Course, the route the river takes to the sea. Okay, it's a route, you can say as well. Tributary, a small river that joins a larger river. Confluence, the point where the tributary joins the river. These are the terms you can easily understood now after seeing the picture. Then we have a mouth. As we all have the mouth, the river also has the mouth. The mouth, the point where the river enters into the sea. Estuary, the part of the mouth that is tidal. Basin, the area of land drained by a river. Watershed, the high ground separating one river basin from another. Now you can see here the flow of a land from high tide towards the lowland area. A small stream flowing quickly down a steep slope. A stream or river that flows quickly down a steep slope erodes its bed rapidly. This will eventually result in the formation of a deep V-shaped valley. Whereas water flows over alternate bands of hard and soft rocks, a waterfall may form. Here you can see the picture, the youthful stage of a river, the mutual stage of a river, and the old stage. Youthful stage, valley has a narrow flow and steep sides. Mature stage, valley has a wider floor and the sides are more gently sloping. In the old age, valley has a wide flat floor and gentle slides. Here's the definition, you can easily understood. Okay, process of a river erosion, hydraulic action and abrasion. The force of the moving water wears away the banks and the bed of the river is known as the hydraulic action, whereas small stones carried by the river wear away at the banks and the bed of the river is known as abrasion. Attrition is a small stones in the river we found are worn down and broken up as they hit off each other because of the speed of the water. Solution is the rocks and soil are dissolved by acids in the water. As we discussed that the landforms of the youthful stage, V-shaped valleys, interlocking spurs, and the waterfalls. So what are the V-shaped valley? This occurs because of the vertical erosion. The river cuts down into the riverbed. Mechanical weathering and mass movement create the V shape. Here you can see in the picture formation of a V-shaped valley. Interlocking spurs. What do you understand by it? The river's flows, it meets areas of hard rock. This creates a zigzag course. See the diagram? Here. See how the interlocking spurs occurs? In the waterfalls, the softer rock is eroded more quickly than the harder rock. The boulders of hard rock that have fallen into it are swelled around by the force of the falling water. This corrosion deepens the plunge pool. Here you can see how the water falls. What a beautiful picture. Now you can see the waterfalls around the world we have. Now the mature stage. In mature stage, the erosion breaks off particles of rock and soil from the bed and banks of the river. The load is carried from upland to lowland areas. This is also called the river transportation because the river from one place moving to another place. All of this material in the river is called the river's load. Rivers can carry large stones, small stones, sand, and dissolved mineral, as I told you earlier, because of its flow. River transportation occurs in 4 ways: rolling, bouncing, suspension, and the solution. Here you can see the picture, how the stones rock, how they bounce, small stones and rocks, and how they diffuse into each other to make a solution. Here, what a beautiful movement. See the bouncing as we do in the bowling. Here the slit of suspension. Now you can see the solution. Dissolved materials are carried along by the river. Now the landforms of the mature stage: wide river valley, meanders, and floodplain. What is wider river valley? In the mature stage, the river moves from side to side by the river valley, becomes wide and flat. See the diagram? Flat floor developing and the movement of the river where the erosion occurs. Landforms of the mature stage, how the land forms. See the development of meander, faster flow on the outer bank, slower flow on the inner bank. See how the land forms? And what about the floodplain? A floodplain is the flat area of land on either side of the river. After heavy rain, the river sometimes floods. The water spreads out over the land on either side of the river. After many floods, a thick layer of alluvium is created. This is called fertile soil as well, where we can grow crops. Here you can see the old stage. The river is carrying lots of sand and silt. Landforms of the old stage. Then levees are raised banks of deposit material found along the banks of the river. Over time and after many periods of flooding, this deposit material forms levees along the banks of the river. Delta. Ooh. A delta is a triangular shaped piece of land which is formed at the mouth of the river. As remaining material it is carrying, this material builds up to form new land. The river is forced to break up into smaller channels called distributaries. So, what's the relationship of rivers with the people? Rivers have always been important for people in the past as well as in the present. People settled near a river as it provided them with food, water, defense. Nowadays, people try to control rivers to prevent flooding, for irrigation, to create electricity, hydroelectric power, and to create improved transport links. Here you can see hydroelectric power through which the engineers develop electricity for the citizens. That's all for today. Thank you.